say that. I'm gonna do it again.
And the audience was like,
Are you acting right now? And I said, kind of.
You do whatever you want.
What's my lighting cue? What am I supposed to say right now?
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Inside the Eclipse Studio. My name is Michael Fleming, and this is an ongoing series where we interview artists, actors, generally from the Santa Clarita Valley, but most definitely involved in productions in the Santa Clarita Valley. And there's an upcoming production to be hosted at the Main Theater in Old Town Newhall of that amazing story that never gets old, 1984. And here I am sitting with Doug
Trayer. I'm giving it to you, homie. Trayer.
This is getting off to a swell start.
I knew you'd like it.
Doug, good to see you. This is Doug Trayer, who plays O'Brien in 1984. So it's a pleasure to talk to you, Doug. And so tell me, when did you first get involved in acting?
I got involved in acting, I suspect a lot of guys. A girl, she got me involved with the theater, and then she finally talked me into auditioning. And I booked a role. And then I booked another role, and then I booked another role, and pretty soon I was hooked.
So, if you don't mind me asking, what period of life was that for you?
This would have been in the 1980s. I would have been in my 20s.
So let's go back to into your career. What's one of the most, what's one of the funniest moments you've had on stage?
Do you have time for a story?
Sure.
Okay. I was doing California Suite at Jacksonville University, which I had done before, but I did a different role. And this time I was doing Visitors from Philadelphia. And I didn't know much about acting at the time, but there's a husband who has awakened in bed in this California Suite, and he's got this terrible hangover because he was drinking with somebody the night before, and to his horror, he realizes there's a naked, passed out hooker in bed with him, and his wife is on the way up. So there's written shtick to do there until you give the cue line for the wife to come in.
Right.
And it takes maybe a minute and a half. By the end of the run, because I kept coming up with things that I got laughs with, it was 4 minutes. I was doing 4 minutes of shtick because I thought that was the point, make people laugh.
Right.
And then I realized that, no, you're not necessarily serving the script by doing this. You're calling attention to yourself. Yes, you're making people laugh, but your fellow actors are getting pissed off. My wife was sitting outside the door waiting for 4 minutes for me to give her the cue line, and the hooker kept laughing. Wait a minute, I got one more for you. We were doing Play It Again, Sam. And there was a door to the dining room of the set that kept swinging open very slowly every night, or not every night, this one particular night. And it was driving everybody crazy because you could see backstage, right? So finally I made an entrance, and when I made the entrance, I'm telling the character, I'm going to Alaska with your wife Julia. And I turned and went, and we're taking this damn door with us. And I went over to the door and I slid a chair up against it and just left it there. It worked fine.
If you were going to be talking to a young actor or someone like you who is maybe about to take their first step into theater, what advice would you give them?
Boy, advice is really hard. I teach actors of all ages. And one of the saddest things that I ever see happen is I'll have an actor come to me in their late 50s, early 60s, and they'll say, I always wanted to be an actor, but instead I became an accountant or a fireman or whatever else. So now I'm going to try and start my career. Don't put it off. If you're going to do it, do it. Commit to it and do it. Because and don't look back. If this is what you love to do.
Doug, it's a pleasure talking to you. I'm really looking forward to seeing this production. You're playing the heavies, so
Yep.
you don't seem like you would be that kind of guy. It's almost like a casting against character.
I have my moments.
Doug Trayer, upcoming in a production of 1984, he plays O'Brien, incredibly relevant at this time in our history. So once again, I'm Mike Fleming. This has been inside the Eclipse studio. Come on out and see 1984 at the Main Theater, March 17th in Old Town Newhall.